Hey everyone, it's me. I'm back and it's Friday. It's the fifth trade in the series. I actually haven't taken a trade yet, but I'm thinking about it. Let me go ahead and tell you what I'm thinking. So, if you can remember, for those of you that have been following along in the 20 trade challenge, I've taken 4 trades. 4 trades. I've lost 3 and 1 is still open. So the one that's open is this euro dollar. And we had a really nice push, and I'm not going to get into all the details of what I talked about yesterday, but you guys can go back and look at it because all these are going to be added to a playlist, and plus I'm going to put the links below. But we got a really nice push, and I made my decision because my original take profit was right here at 101 area, or 1.1, and I didn't go ahead and take the profit. I ended up extending it out, and I had a lot of reasons for doing it, the momentum and other things, so I didn't do it. It continued to push up hard, and you can just look at today. It dropped. It's got a big range today. It dropped, and it almost hit my new take profit, just really close. I was about 22 pips away. It would have been nice, locked up, would have made me profitable on the 4 trade series. But it didn't do that. It got shot down. Well, right now, it's a hardcore drop and rejected pretty fast. So we want to see what's happening and what am I going to do from here. You can see there it is, and there it dropped down. Okay, and this is a 4-hour time frame now. And if I haven't been speaking clearly, please forgive me. This is the euro dollar chart, and I was looking at daily. Now it's on the 4-hour. So we broke above this 400 period. Now we got rejected. Now we're coming back down. But you can see this 4-hour candle. It was actually much lower, and it pressed into these moving averages, and now it's peaking up again, looking like it might want to go back up. We're currently looking at a 1-hour chart, and this is on the MACD. It's starting to drop on the hourly. So this hourly keeps staying so strong that even when it gets red, it hasn't really stopped the increase, and you can notice these are getting increasing, and then this last one was really big. So it could still have some momentum attached to this. It started to slow down, but it could pop back up, right? And so what I'm thinking at this point is taking an additional position and adding on to my winning trade. This is kind of an advanced technique, but this would still count in my 20 trades. The methods I'm using on the MACD to enter are still the same, but it's a little different because I'm adding to a position. I've got good momentum. And you could see there's a lot of different places I could have added every time it popped into these moving averages. And there we just got another one. And so eventually this thing will tire out. But I think that the shorts are still piling in, and there's at least one more time. So if I add another position here, and I could take it up here, I could get a nice risk to reward ratio. So let's just say I take my entry. We're looking at about a 40 pip stop loss. Okay, a 40 pip stop loss, and then my target would be 80, which would be a 2-to-1. And, you know, if the momentum kicked up, I could probably push it up here a little bit. So let's just say that I was able to get in where I'm at right now. My position could go up to 140 with a 40 pip stop, which would be an even better target. Ultimately, if I'm doing a 40 pip stop, my ultimate goal would be around 200 pips would be the best that I could probably do, which is why I like the tighter stops. But right now, it's still indecisive. It's popped down. If we go back to the daily here, it's kind of what they call a doji. It's in the middle. It's on both sides. So I just don't know exactly what is going to happen with this. But I'm going to watch the price action to make my decision. I was seeing some movement here in the last few minutes. That's why I decided to pop onto a video. I only like to do live trades when the price action's moving. And so since it's starting to come up, look at the 15-minute now. We crossed over on the MACD. And by the way, this is our Savvy MACD. You can get this for free. The link is below in the description. Hit that like button if you guys like the Savvy MACD, if you've tried it out. This is a really cool tool, totally free for MT4. It has a lot of other features that you don't see anywhere else. And we spend a lot of time and effort programming it, and we give it away to MT4 users for free. So you just click that link below to get access to it. Okay, so I'm starting to get this crossover here, and when I say crossover, I'm talking about the MACD moving averages down below, and then this 50 period moving average is looking to move up. And just to talk about my current trade, I do have $1,000 locked in, but I'm going to actually move this up a little bit more. So now I have $2,000 locked in, which almost brings me to a point where I'm at break even on this 20 trade challenge, because my first 3 trades were losers, and that took me down 2,700. I've currently got 2,000 locked in on this trade. I'm currently up about 3,400 on it. If I get to my target, it's at 51.48. And if it does pop, I'm going to then also make a decision to see if I want to just keep riding it, because it's good to take the money. That's a 5-to-1 risk to reward, which is not easy to hit. So I don't want to give that up. If I can get it, I can get it. But what if this momentum continues and I can end up getting a 10-to-1? And 10-to-1s will really help your trading account long term. If you can get 10-to-1s, you're going to do really well in the long term. So just right now, I'm just kind of talking while I'm waiting, trying to give some education and teaching. This also, on the negative side, I like to look at multiple different factors. On the negative side of things, this has broken below these moving averages on the 15-minute time frame, and this is a 50 and a 100. It's broken below, and now it's getting rejected here. So what could happen? What could happen is, and this is a negative scenario, I'm drawing a trend line. You see this? I'm going to make this blue so we can see it a little better. I'm drawing a trend line here. We could have one down leg. We could have another down leg that goes like something like that. And then we could have a third down leg right into my stop loss. So that is a very real possibility. And I think that it's very important when you're taking your trades that you want to look at when the trade goes against you, what would the price action look like? Because we had this drop here on the MACD, because we dropped below the moving averages, it very well could do what I'm showing here. And so I don't want to go all in. I don't want to put all my money on the line. I don't want to crash my account, because this is what could happen. Okay, and if we look at a longer time frame, this is a downward trend. This blue line, this is a daily now. This thing could go all the way down here, and then I'd really be done. But I have stops locking in my profit. But you get the idea. If I'm not managing my risk properly, look what could happen, right? So I want to just kind of look at it and get familiar with the market, get familiar with what's going on, and try to make up different scenarios about what could happen, and then just play the probabilities on each one. So that's what I like to do when I'm doing a trade, because you always want to assume a worst case. You want to have positive future excitement, believing that your trade's going to go, but you also want to look at worst case scenario. If you don't have a worst case scenario in mind, you're really making a big mistake. And so we do have these moving averages moving up. That's kind of what I'm looking at, and why I'm thinking this could be just a pullback along this way. We've got this support it bounced off of. Moving averages up. MACD's really strong here, which we never know how much momentum this could go. It's slowed down a little bit. But then on the daily time frame, you could see it's just crossing over. So this MACD still has plenty of room to go, and if this goes sideways a little bit, it could then pop right back up into here. So if I do go long here on this, I will put my stop in right here. I hate getting stopped out, but I want to keep it tight, which is right about 40 pips. I'm not going to make this decision. I'm going to be online. I've been online right now for 10 minutes. I'm going to stay on here for another 10 minutes or so. If it makes a strong move in to the upside, I'm going to go ahead and take the trade. Otherwise, I'm just going to monitor it. I want to always take all of these trades live for this session. And because I said 20 live trade challenge. So if I don't get the trade, I'm going to pass on it for the day. If I don't get it in the next few minutes, I'm just going to hold off. It's Friday afternoon. Sometimes on Fridays, things can surprise you. Sometimes on Fridays, the price will move all day. Other times, Fridays are dead. So again, you can't really go by that either because you just don't know what's going to happen. But it has been a crazy week. We've seen a lot of things. So volatility has been good. Price movement's been good. And when that happens, if you're a disciplined trader, you can make money in the market. When you're a disciplined trader, you can make money by letting those moves go in your favor. Okay, and that is a very good thing for disciplined traders. And so here's what's going to happen. All right, and I'm going to predict this. If the market starts getting crazy, if volatility happens, if there's a lot of news, if the market tanks, if it crashes, what we're going to see is big moves in these markets, big moves. And then what's also going to happen is that the good traders are going to make a killing, and the terrible traders are going to get crushed. Because in markets that don't really move a lot, that go sideways, mediocre traders can survive a little bit longer. They're not going to make a lot of money, but they're going to survive. And good traders will still make money when the markets aren't moving a lot. But the good traders make a lot of money when the market is really moving hardcore. And so that's what the good traders are waiting for. They're hoping for these big moves, and you want to be disciplined and have a good strategy and let those big trends ride while the price is moving. And so I'm actually going to go ahead and take this trade here if I can get a little bit more momentum. You can see that it's been fighting. It's looking to go. Everything looks pretty good on this, on the hourly time frame. You can see it popped right into this moving average. It's a relatively new trend. I mean, this is an hourly chart. It's a relatively new trend. It popped pretty hard off of this level, and it looks like on the 15-minute, it looks like we're going to go here. And so it's a stop loss. I would love it to be a little bit tighter just because 40 pip stop is a little bit tight. Or no, it's not tight. I'd like a little tighter so I could double up in size. I'd love to be able to double up here. I'm going to actually drop down and see if I can tighten up my stop a little bit, which I could. I could actually, if I really wanted to play it, I could tighten it up right here and make a 15 pip stop. That way I can double up on the size. The only issue on that is you got to make sure that you have enough margin in your account. You got to do those calculations. And I actually didn't do those ahead of time. So if I try to double up and I can't take the trade, that would be why. So I'm going to try and see what happens. Let's see. So on the 5-minute, we're crossing. We're going in here. Okay. Let's just go back to the 15-minute one more time. It's popping up above here. It's trying to break. I'm going to just go ahead and do this right here, and we'll see if I can actually take this trade based off the margin that's available. And actually, you could see I couldn't, so I'm going to see if I can get it in a 3. Okay, I could get in at 3, okay? And so that's still pretty good, and I'm going to now put my stop pretty tight right in here. I'm going to let this moving average be my stop loss, and we're going to see what happens. I think that I got an opportunity. And I'm going to pop in a nice 75 pip stop loss, which is or 77 pip target, which is the exact same target of the other position. And what I'm going to do on this trade here, let me see here. What's my actual... so the actual risk to reward on this one, so it's about a 23% $300 target with a $500 take profit or a $500 stop loss. So what that would mean is about a 5-to-1, which is, if I push it up just a little bit more, it's a 5-to-1 and $2,500 target with a $500 stop, which is exactly what I'm trying to do on these trades, is hit a minimum of 5-to-1. And as I said, if we get any kind of strong momentum, I very well might move this. But again, we still don't know if I'm going to win this trade or not. I could very well lose it. Anything can happen in trading. Thanks, Emil, and thanks, Reddy, for your comments. And so that was the trade for trade number 5. We're moving right along. We got 5 trades, 15 more trades to go. I'm still losing at this point. Haven't actually even made a winning trade yet. Hopefully, we'll be able to lock a few winners in. And again, this is all education. This is nothing other than that. So you take it for what it is. This isn't trading advice or any of that kind of stuff. It's just education. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. And if you have gotten any kind of value out of this at all, I'd appreciate it if you guys would hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, whatever, because it helps me promote this channel and get more people on board. Because ultimately, as if you followed Tim at all, Tim and I are working very closely together, good friends. We really have the same mission, and that is to make sure you guys get the best education possible so that you can use trading to give you some security in the markets, so that you're not all getting beat up all the time and having to be fearful in the markets, but that you can actually enjoy the markets. You can be planning in the markets, and it can provide a sense of revenue and security rather than insecurity, fear, and just straight up greed and all that other stuff that people get from the markets. And I appreciate your comments on the trades. Whether it's a good trade or bad, who knows? It is up a little bit right now, which makes me happy. But I don't want to go by emotions. I want to go by my strategy, and that is to try to take 20 trades. Each trade I want to go for a 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and that way if I get 5 winners, then I'll end up being profitable, which is kind of interesting when you think about it, because 5 winners out of 20 trades, that's a lot of losing trades. And so you got to have a little bit of discipline to take that many losing trades. And yeah. Thanks a lot. Hope Tim's going to come out with a video tonight, and Tim and I are planning his training series where he's going to take everybody through basically every single topic over the next year. We're going to create a massive learning series where it's going to cover everything in trading, and he's doing a ton of research on it. He's working really hard. And again, that's just because we want to help you guys out. All right. Well, I'm going to give a little summary here. Remember, I've taken 5 trades. 3 of them are losers. 2 are still open. And this is currently the euro dollar. Again, only educational purposes. If you've enjoyed the training, if you've enjoyed the series, please hit that like button. I can see we've got 8 likes. I'd love to see it get up to 10. So if you could do that for me, I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to be signing off. I've been on here for about 18 minutes. So the last thing I wanted to say is I'm on my 5th trade. I'm going to try to ride this up. If I can hit both of these, that's going to be about $7,500 in profit, which is really nice. Minus the 27 that I lost, I'd probably be up about 5,000, which would be really good because that would help me out for 5 losing trades in a row. So that'd give me a little bit of a cushion. That's the other thing about good risk to reward trades, is it gives you a cushion. So I would love to have a little cushion here so that I don't have to dig my way out of a hole on the 20 trades. It's nice to get ahead early so you have that. And I'm going to be monitoring this trade. Once it gets up to this previous level, I'm probably going to lock in a little bit of profit, and I'm going to make a decision on whether I'm going to let this thing ride or whether it's going to whether I'm going to let it ride or try to extend out. Because if we look at a long term, I could potentially hit up here, I could potentially get up into this range, which would take me to a nice like 5-6 to 1 on both of those trades. If I had 2 6 to 1 trades, that'd be really good. But right now we got a pin bar on this daily, and a lot of times a pin bar is a signal for a reversal, especially with a downtrend. But it also can be used as a head fake. A lot of these guys are getting in short right now, and a lot of them are expecting for this market to go, and there are people that have gone in heavy short, and those people are the ones that could get hurt if they're not trading their strategy properly. So we're getting a little bit of up movement. You can see the pin bars going back and forth here, and that's to be expected. What could happen in the negative side? Let's go back to a 5-minute time frame. I could get whipped right out and then the price take off. And I'll tell you, that stinks when that happens, because you were right on the trade, but my stop was a little too tight. And again, that happens. It happens. You just got to deal with it and play the numbers and say, okay, if I get enough of those trades, that would be great. All right, well, that's it. I got my 10 likes. Really super pumped about that. Thank you guys so much for helping me out, and I want to help you out. So have a great weekend. Stay safe, like Emil said. Plan your trades. Plan your risk. Stay tuned for Tim's video later this afternoon, and we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. I personally am going to have some fun. I'm going to relax and enjoy time with my family, my favorite thing to do. So I'm going to have a great weekend planned ahead. All right. Thank you, and God bless.